Welcome to Movie Man with Greg and Mr. B. I am your host, Greg. Sitting across from me is...
Mr. Mr. B.
What's going on, man?
Not much, just chilling. I'm so freaking excited to talk about Star Wars.
I'm glad you said that because I was just about to say how freaking excited are you to talk about Star Wars.
Dude, we could talk about every movie ever made, and I will not be as passionate about the movies that we're about to talk about. I am the biggest Star Wars freaking dork in the world. I love it so much.
Good, then I'm glad we're gonna talk about it together. I'm not like as crazy about Star Wars as others are. Like, there's some people that are like diehards.
Well, you should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm not ashamed of myself. I'm not gonna Star Wars shame myself.
I'm just kidding.
No, but sometimes I wish I was like way more into it, you know,
Yeah.
like just so when people are like Star Wars, I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? But I'm like, oh, Star Wars is tight, you know, it's
Yeah.
cool. I liked it for this and that, and you know, I'm just excited to talk about it.
I absolutely love it, and I love it so much that I've actually thought about the fact that I'm alive during the time of Star Wars, and I'm so thankful for that.
Well, what do you mean?
Like, Star Wars is happening in like the late 1900s, early 2000s, and it may like die off, and it wasn't before then, and it may not be after those times, and that's when I'm alive, and I'm super thankful because of how epic it is, and I love
Yeah.
it so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. That's pretty good way to think about it. I guess I didn't think about it like that. So this is how tonight's show is going to go. We're going to do a plot summary for all 1 through 7.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about who stars in 1 through 7 and who directed it. And then we're just going to talk about what we liked about 1 through 7 in just an entirety.
Oh, man.
Just go back and forth sharing things we loved about it, things we didn't like about it, you know, just everything. So, you ready to get into it?
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, guys, bear with us. This is a lot of reading. A New Hope came out in 1977. Luke Skywalker joins forces with a Jedi Knight, a cocky pilot, a Wookiee, and 2 droids to save the galaxy from the Empire's world, destroying Battle Station, while also attempting to rescue Princess Leia from the evil Darth Vader.
Oh, yes.
The Empire Strikes Back, 1980. After the rebels have been brutally overpowered by the Empire on their newly established base, Luke Skywalker takes advanced Jedi training with Master Yoda, while his friends are pursued by Darth Vader as part of his plan to capture Luke. Return of the Jedi, 1983. After rescuing Han Solo from the palace of Jabba the Hutt, the rebels attempt to destroy the second Death Star, while Luke struggles to make Vader return from the dark side of the Force. So, that's 4, 5, and 6.
Oh, yeah. The original 3.
Yeah, the original 3.
Yeah.
But so do you think George Lucas had it in his mind that like this is going to be 4, 5, and 6, and I'm gonna make 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah. Supposedly, yeah. Because if you watch Episode 4, A New Hope, it says Episode 4. Why would you? If you've created something so epic, why would you not want to do all of it and start in the middle of it and just be like, nah, screw the first part of this? You know what I mean? As far as I know, he had always planned on doing all of them. And I don't know why he chose to start with 4, 5, and 6, but that's just, God, I wish I could ask him. But
I don't know.
That was just the most genius decision ever.
Okay, I have a fun fact I'll get into later, but real quick about that is that A New Hope wasn't in the original Star Wars opening. It just said Star Wars and then like the Rebellion, blah blah blah, or whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
It didn't say Episode 4?
It's in the remastered version that they put A New Hope in.
So the original viewing
Yeah.
in the theater, it just said Star Wars. It didn't say Episode 4 either?
I'm pretty sure it didn't. Like, you can go on YouTube and look at side-by-side comparisons.
Oh, shit. So maybe he didn't plan it at first.
Maybe just the success of the trilogy at
Yeah.
the time was like, dude, we can write 3 more prequels,
Yeah.
you know? And speaking of the 3 more prequels, let's get into the plot of those 3.
Let's do it.
Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, 1999. 2 Jedi Knights escape a hostile blockade to find allies and come across a young boy who may bring balance to the Force. But the long-dormant Sith resurface to reclaim their old glory. Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, 2002. 10 years after initially meeting Anakin Skywalker shares a forbidden romance with Padme, while Obi-Wan investigates an assassination attempt on the Senator and discovers a secret clone army crafted for the Jedi. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, 2005. During the near end of the Clone Wars, Darth Sidious has revealed himself and is ready to execute the last part of his plan to rule the galaxy. Sidious is ready for his new apprentice, Lord Vader, to step into action and kill the remaining Jedi. Vader, however, struggles to choose the dark side and save his wife or remain loyal to the Jedi Order. And then Episode 7, The Force Awakens, 2015.
Hell yeah.
3 decades after the defeat of the Galactic Empire, a new threat arises. The First Order attempts to rule the galaxy, and only a ragtag group of heroes can stop them, along with the help of the Resistance.
Yeah, baby.
That's all 7.
That was awesome, dude. Man, so many emotions when you were just saying all that stuff. I just want to stop you and be like, oh, what about this?
Don't you just have like pictures and scenes flying through your brain right now?
Oh my God, it's crazy. It's just like, oh, it's too much.
Oh man, I know. I completely get it. So I'm going to talk about who directed 4, 5, and 6. Who directed 4 was George Lucas. 5 was Irvin Kershner, or Irving. There's a fly on my phone. It was Irving Kershner, and number 6 was Richard Marquand. Yeah, I was under the impression before I looked this up that George Lucas did all of them.
You know what's interesting about that is Richard Marquand. If he was like in an IHOP or something, you know what I mean, and eating lunch or something like that, or eating breakfast, and somebody was like, they heard his name, they wouldn't know who he is, and he's like, God damn it, you know what I mean? I deserve recognition. Awesome. Do you have any idea what I've done? Like, no. I directed episode 6.
I am Richard Marquand. So you need a refill on coffee? No. I need some credit. Credit for the magnificent number 6.
They're like, everybody knows that George Lucas directed all of them. He's like, no. No, he
didn't. No, I was there. He did not. He just sat there and cried.
Alrighty.
4, 5, and 6, I'm going to do a collective of who started it. It stars Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker.
Oh, yeah.
Harrison Ford as Han Solo. Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia. Billy D. Williams as Lando Calrissian. Anthony Daniels played C-3PO.
Yeah.
Peter Mayhew.
All right, that wasn't
and James Earl Jones as Darth Vader. Darth Vader's voice. And then for 1, 2, and 3, George Lucas is who directed number 1. George Lucas also directed number 2. And George Lucas also directed number 3. So I'm assuming he had some control in number 4. He directed that one.
Mm-hmm.
5 and 6, he kind of like let the leash go a little longer and was like, okay, I'll let somebody else direct it and stuff. Probably not the way he exactly wanted it to turn out. So when he did the prequels, he's like, me. I'm doing this completely myself.
Even though, honestly, episode 5 was superior to
I thought
episode
6
4.
was the best.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Richard Marquand, baby.
I just want some credit. So the prequels, 1, 2, and 3, they start, and this is so crazy. I didn't know this as a kid because I didn't know who it was as a kid. Liam Neeson.
Yeah, dude. You didn't know that?
I mean, I didn't know that when I was a kid, and I saw it in 99.
Yeah.
I was 9.
Yeah.
You know?
I wasn't too familiar with him either.
I didn't know who he was. I just liked his long hair.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon Jinn. Then we have Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, the young Obi-Wan Kenobi.
The best Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes. You are the chosen one. Natalie Portman. She plays Queen Amidala, or Padme, in the first one.
You were supposed to join this or destroy the Sith, not join them.
You were like a brother to me, Anakin.
All right. I loved you. All right, sorry.
We're definitely going to have to repeat that later. We also have Jake Lloyd, who plays the young Anakin Skywalker. He was also the kid from Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yep, kind of an annoying little bastard in my opinion.
Yeah, he's not a good actor.
Yeah, he was. Well, let's talk about fucking Hayden here in a little bit.
Hayden Christensen. He plays the adult Anakin Skywalker. Oh, gosh. We got Samuel L. Jackson as Mace Windu.
Hell yeah.
You need to join the Force right now.
I'm sick of all these goddamn Sith in this goddamn temple.
You think the Jedi swing lightsabers fast? You should see the Sith.
No, but truthfully, he's like probably my favorite character. Like one of them, definitely top
I got
5
such
for sure.
a cool fact for you, man. About
Let's hear
him. No, I'll wait till we get into the facts. But
I
yes.
wonder if it's something I don't already know.
I just found this out, so
okay.
You might not know it. And then we have Frank Oz, who's the voice of Yoda.
Oh yes,
Good job he did.
the Grand Master, the biggest Mac Daddy of them all.
But the smallest of the Green Daddies. And then we have Ian McDiarmid, maybe?
Ian McDermott, who plays...
It's not McDermott, is it?
McDermott?
It's like McDiarmid, like McDiarmid.
Who plays Palpatine.
Ian McDiarmid.
Don't kill me! Don't kill me, please!
And he plays the Emperor. Gosh, I hate that character. And then we have The Force Awakens. That was directed by J.J. Abrams. Woo, woo.
Yep.
Shout out to that dude. That dude recreated and reimagined things in a great way.
Yeah, dude.
Force Awakens stars Harrison Ford as Han Solo. Adam Driver, who plays Kylo Ren.
Hell yeah.
Daisy Ridley, who plays Rey. John Boyega, who plays Finn.
My favorite character.
And then Oscar Isaac, who plays Poe Dameron.
Yeah. I loved it.
All right, everybody. I just threw a bunch of facts at you and a bunch of some plots. That was tough for me to get through. Okay, yeah, so that was a lot of reading, but I am so ready to get into just talking about Star Wars in an entirety. Are you ready to do that?
Oh, I'm sure. And I think that the most important thing that we need to bring up as of right now is BB-8. How awesome is BB-8?
I think he takes R2-D2 and just
Bitch slaps him.
bitch slaps him. Straight up with BB bitch slaps him.
I'm sure some people are listening and they're like, no, guys. But no, honestly,
He's an original. Nothing's better than originals.
BB-8 is awesome, dude. They created a new droid, and I love BB-8, man. I can't wait to see more of him in Episode 8.
When I see BB-8 like rolling across the screen and his head's not moving, but his whole body's spinning, I love watching him.
Yeah,
I
me
really
too.
do. I love watching him. He's so interesting.
Fun fact about BB-8 is they wanted R2-D2 to have the body style and movement of BB-8, but in the 70s, they couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So they had to just kind of settle for what they could do with R2-D2. And it's kind of obvious if you look at R2-D2 that that's all that they could do in that time. But now with the new technology, they were able to fulfill his original vision of R2-D2.
I don't even know how they did that.
I don't either.
Because that's like a real thing.
I know! It is, huh?
Yeah.
I don't think it is all special effects. I think it's an actual freaking droid almost.
Well, you can buy one now. It's like $200. And you can buy one. It's like a mini one, but it still rolls the same exact way.
Yeah.
So somehow the toy company figured it out, too.
So damn awesome looking.
It is awesome.
I'm looking at a picture of him right now. He just looks so damn cool.
Oh, yeah. You are. Sometimes I forget I have 2 fat Star Wars posters right behind me.
Yeah, I'm in a really good spot right now.
Oh, so lucky. I wish I could just turn around and do this. Are you ready to get into our trivia time?
Oh, please. Let's do it.
I would love to go first if you don't mind.
Oh, not at all.
Because I wanted to share this earlier about Mace Windu.
Oh, yes.
Did you know that they have definitions for the color of lightsaber?
Yes, I did.
Like blue means this, green means that, red means, evil.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know why Mace Windu's was purple?
Because he wanted purple?
Why?
I don't know why, but I know that he specifically requested to have a different color lightsaber.
Yeah, you want to know why?
Why?
Because he couldn't. When they had a screen of all the Jedis, not a screen, but like a picture of all the Jedi standing there, he couldn't recognize himself because he blended in with everybody. So he wanted a purple lightsaber so he could be recognizable in the crowd.
I don't get it. Why would he not recognize himself? What does the color of the lightsaber have to do with it?
Because everybody's lightsabers are like blue and green.
Yeah.
And they're all wearing like the same like brown and tan robes.
Oh, so basically he just wanted to stand out.
He wanted to stand out. And he blended in with all the other Jedis.
Oh, I gotcha.
And so as long as he had the purple lightsaber, you could tell who Samuel L. Jackson was.
I'm glad they did that. I'm glad he did that, made that choice, because now purple lightsabers are all over the place in Star Wars lore, and it's my favorite color lightsaber. Easy. If I was a Jedi in the galaxy, I would definitely want a purple lightsaber.
Yeah?
Yeah, dude, purple is my favorite. Easy. What about yours? What's your favorite color? Oh, I need to know, dude. What color lightsaber would you have if you were in that galaxy and you were a Jedi?
I'd have to think that I would be like a Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, being a Sith looks so cool.
I would have to cut your head off then, because I would definitely be a Jedi.
Yeah, but
Oh,
if
yeah.
you were Qui-Gon Jinn, I'd just stab you in the chest.
No, you would not.
My double lightsaber.
If you were a Sith, I would kill you.
You might.
But I know you, and I don't think that you would be a Sith.
No, I'm too nice.
Yeah. So what color?
Okay, what color would Greg
And
want to
don't
be?
forget that there's not just yellow, green,
There's like
blue.
every color. Of
Yeah,
the
there's
rainbow.
orange, there's freaking hot pink. There's not that you'd want that one, I hope not. But yeah, dude, there's even white. There's even black, supposedly.
There's a black lightsaber.
Supposedly.
That sounds pretty evil, though.
In the Star Wars Clone Wars TV show, there's one episode where somebody has an ancient lightsaber, and it's black.
I gotta check that out. I've heard good things about that.
I know, right? I've only seen a little bit of it, not the whole series, and I don't
It's
know
the
why.
Attack of the Clones one, right?
Yeah, the Clone Wars TV show.
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that show is ridiculously good.
Yeah, I've heard that too. So I really
Yeah.
want, dude. I actually, one of my friends many years ago bought it for me on DVD for a Christmas gift.
The whole series?
Yeah, at the time there was only like a season out.
Oh, okay. I
But so they bought me like the first season of it, and I never even opened it, and I threw it away.
Oh, what?
I had it in my room for like a year and a half, and I was like, dude, I'm not gonna watch a cartoon of Star Wars, and I like threw it away because I thought it was like gonna be stupid.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, I should have watched it.
Yeah,
But I probably wouldn't have appreciated it back then like I do now.
And you know that that TV show is canon, right? And what they mean when I say canon, that's the word that they use, meaning that like it's legitimately part of the original Star Wars
It's like
lore.
yeah.
Not like those like books that you find in Barnes and Noble that have like nothing really to do with the real story.
Yeah.
Every episode of that show is connected to the movies
Right.
and is recognized by the filmmakers that are making the new movies right now.
Oh, maybe that'll play a part.
Yeah, I think it does. One little piece of trivia that I have that has to do with that is the character. I don't recall what his name is, and I don't want to look it up. I want to be more surprised because we're about to go see this movie, dude. We're going to see this movie really soon. This week, as a matter of fact.
This weekend.
Yeah, this weekend. And Forrest Whitaker is in the movie.
Right.
And his character, I'm pretty sure, has a small role in Star Wars The Clone Wars. Or it's that new spin-off show, Star Wars Rebels. I could be wrong. Listeners, if you know the answer to this, if he actually does have a role, we would really appreciate a comment to let us know.
Yeah. So one of my facts is Yoda was almost played by a monkey.
What?
According to the book The Making of Star Wars by J.R. Rinsler, George Lucas originally planned for Yoda to be played by an adorable monkey wearing a mask and carrying a cane.
Wow.
Yeah. Instead
That
of
would
the
have made
puppet.
things different.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't. I don't know. What if it would have looked cool?
I think that the reason why they didn't go that route is because it
kinda
didn't
ridiculous.
look cool.
They're all, hey, monkey, get over here. And he's like,
And he just like ran away in the forest. And they're like, okay, so he's gone. So let's go with that puppet that you have in the back of your trailer there, Fred.
So I have another fun fact I'd like to share real quick. if
Oh,
you don't
yes.
mind.
Go ahead.
Return of the Jedi almost had a very different ending.
Really?
Yeah. In a story development session for Return of the Jedi, Lucas toyed with the idea that after Luke removes dying Vader's helmet, he puts it on, proclaiming, "Now I am Vader," and turns to the dark side. Oh, how dumb would that be?
Oh my gosh. Damn, that would be stupid. I'm so glad they didn't go that route, man.
Me too.
Man, I have a little fact.
Yeah.
Yoda. I mean, this is not really a trivia fact, but I just want to talk about this. The fact that Yoda was played by a puppet in the original 3 movies, and in episode 1, or actually, yeah, in the first 3, he's a puppet, and in episode 1, The Phantom Menace, he's still a puppet. I'm pretty sure. And then I know for a fact in episode 2 and 3, he's not a puppet any longer, and he's CGI, which is, I think, the way to go. He looks freaking awesome in that way.
He does look good.
But if you watch The Phantom Menace and you look at Yoda, he looks strikingly different than in episode 2. Like, if you compare his face in episode 1 to episode 2, it's just one movie away from each other. He looks completely different, dude. And in episode 1, I'm pretty sure he's still a puppet. and they for some reason changed it. And they were like, well, you know what? Everybody wants to see this little badass whip out a lightsaber and do some damage, so we're gonna have to figure something else out. I'm glad they did.
Oh, me too. That even though it was such a small little scene with Count Dooku where he fights him, it was when he's flipping around. You're like, whoa! I didn't know Yoda could do that.
Dude, that was maybe the most epic moment of movie-going experience of my life so far. I knew because I was in high school when that came out. I think I was a sophomore, and I went to school like the next Monday after it came out. And I was talking with my friends, and I hadn't seen it yet, and they were like, "Dude, did you see episode 2?" And I was like, "No, not yet. I'm gonna go see it." And they were like, "Dude, Yoda fights in that movie," and I was like, "What? What?" Like I was just freaking out, and then I was like, "Don't tell me exactly what happens, but like, is it tight?" And they were like, "Oh my god, dude. It is so badass." And I was like, oh my God. And then when I went to go see it, I knew that Yoda eventually was going to fight, dude.
Yeah.
And then at the very end of the movie, they did it perfect. The crowd pleaser moment. I love that so much when movies do that. Dude, when he pulls out, when Count Dooku is like, "It is obvious that this contest cannot be decided by our knowledge of the Force, but by our skills with a lightsaber." And then he pulls out his badass lightsaber that's all
like
custom.
bent. Yeah,
it's like kind of bent, like weird looking. And then he just like, and then it just shows Yoda and the music, dude, behind it. Dude, this is like giving me chills just talking about this. And then he's so freaking epic with the Force. He doesn't even grab it with his hands.
No, it floats to him.
He just like uses the Force and it goes to his hand. And he just like turns it on. You're just like, oh my God, 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 oh my God. And, oh my God, dude. That fight scene was so tight. I don't think I've seen anything as tight. Seriously.
Well, what about
since then?
Okay, let's just get out of our facts. Let's just start straight up talking about it. You know what time it is?
It's time
For
top highlights.
So in our top highlights, we're not going to have a top 5 or anything. We're just straight up going to talk about things we loved about Star Wars.
If I had to do a top something, it would have to be a top 20 as far as all these movies go, and that's just going to be way too long. So we decided to do a highlights just to talk about our most favorite stuff, just whatever comes to mind.
Yeah. You want to go first? I know you do.
Oh yeah, dude.
I know you do.
Yeah, I just want to go off of what I think I haven't heard this before, but in my mind, it's the huge crowd pleaser moment in action movies. It's where, it's where they save the lightsaber duel, if you will, for the end of the movie, because they know that that's going to be the coolest part of the movie. They know that that's what everyone really wants to see.
Yeah.
They want to see Luke fight Vader. They want to see that lightsaber battle at the end.
Yeah.
And at the end of episode 7, that's what they do. You get to see a little bit of lightsaber action, but they save the badass battle for the end of the movie, and they do that on purpose to keep you. That's the crowd pleaser moment. And even in I'm gonna come out of the Star Wars for a minute and just talk about Jurassic World. I know you weren't the biggest fan, but at the end of Jurassic World, they do that. They have a badass freaking action-filled fight scene with the T-Rex and the what is it called, Abdominus Rex or some shit like that.
Yeah,
but it's the same kind of thing, to where they just save the most badass scene for the end, and it's just you're just like, oh my God, this is so awesome. And in episode 2, they have Yoda fight Dooku, and that scene was so brief, and it was just like, oh God, when it ended, I was like, no, I want more. And then in episode 3, they do the same thing when they have Yoda fight the freaking Emperor, man.
That was tight.
And not only do they do that, but at the same time, there's a completely different fight scene between Obi-Wan and Anakin, and I can't decide which one was more freaking awesome to watch. And that was, dude, hats off to George Lucas or whoever it was that wrote that and decided to do that. Genius. We saw that movie together. Remember that?
Twice.
Yeah, and it was so awesome, dude. Gosh, that was so good.
I remember that. I remember thinking episode 3 was so good.
The tightest movie ever made. Just so freaking sick.
I think that was like one of the first times, besides Wedding Crashers, I know.
Yeah.
Besides Wedding Crashers, where I actually went for like a second time to go pay money in the theaters to see it, because I thought it was that good. And like on top of that, not only did I think it was that good, but I really enjoyed that like you also thought it was that good.
Oh yeah.
So we were like, going off of each other off of each other's like excitement, you know. You're like, yeah, number 3, and I'm like, yeah, number 3, and then I'm like, yeah, number 3, and you're like, yeah, number 3. You know, like we were just vibing off each other, and you know, we both had the Force, you may say,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
with us, and it was awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Hold up, I just thought of something. Why don't they release? Okay, maybe not Rogue One, but why don't they release Episode 8 on May 4th?
I don't know. I know that episode 8 is also going to be released in December, just like...
That's like their thing now.
Yeah, I think that's going to
Hey, that's cool. That's like literally like my birthday month. So.
Dude, for Christmas last year, 2015, no joke, no exaggeration, this is what happened to me. I woke up on Christmas morning with my kids, my fiance, and she wasn't my fiance at the time, my girlfriend. And we opening Christmas presents. The kids are opening all kinds of stuff, their new bike, their toys, everything. And then I open a card to Mr. B, if you will, from Santa Claus to Mr. B. And it was a card. It was just a normal Christmas card. And I opened the card, and I like flipped the little flap over, and there was like a little note from my girlfriend, and it was like really heartfelt, and she's like, I love you so much, thank you for everything you've done, and blah 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 blah. And she's like, flip the card over. And I flipped the card over, and there's movie tickets. And there was a little note taped there. I undid the note, and it said, we're going to see The Force Awakens tonight. And I was just
Christmas night?
Yeah, Christmas night is when I first saw it. And I was just like, oh my gosh, because it was really hectic time of last year. I didn't have the time to go see it when I wanted to. Right. And I didn't have the money to go see it when I wanted to.
And I heard it was like extremely sold out.
Yeah. And just that was the most amazing Christmas present. Honestly, gonna sound ridiculous. Almost made me tear up a little bit.
Oh, wow.
I didn't get to see it when I wanted to when it came out. This was like a week or two after it came out, and I was like, I didn't expect that. And I opened it, and I was like, well, I looked at her, and I was like, we're going to go see it tonight. I'm going to go see Star Wars tonight. And she was like, tonight, we're going. And I was just like, and it was IMAX 3D. And I was just like,
you can't leave that out of the story.
Yeah, and I was just like, it was IMAX 3D tickets. And I was like, oh my God, I love you so much. Like, it was so amazing, dude. All of us went. It was so cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I just wanted to share that real quick.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a good story. I went, when I saw The Force Awakens, I went on December 29th. That's my birthday.
Nice.
And I went with my wife and some of my friends. And yeah, that was awesome, man. I had a good time seeing that. It was cool, man. Like, I remember... Let me get into this. I want to share some thoughts that I have about Star Wars, man.
Oh, please do.
And maybe this might shed some light on why I'm not the hugest Star Wars fan.
Okay.
But I respect it because of, the 70s and the 80s when it came out. No one was there to guide me into Star Wars in my life. So I had to basically watch it because of you and another friend of ours, a mutual friend.
Okay.
And I remember we went over to his house to spend the night because we were still kind of young, like teenagers at that point, right? And we went to go crash at his house, and he was like, you've never seen Star Wars? And I was like, no, I've never seen 4, 5, and 6. I only had seen like number 1 at the time, or maybe number 1 and 2. And they were like, oh my gosh, like you and him were like, you need to go watch Star Wars. And so we went over to like back to my place, my dad's place, for some reason. And I don't know why we couldn't watch it there. And we go over there and we watch episode 4 and 5, I think, that night. And I remember when it was like the beginning of the movie when they're on Vader's spaceship, the Death Star. Mm-hmm. Or I don't know, it's not the Death Star, it's a spaceship, right?
It's a spaceship, yeah.
Yeah. And they're like his soldiers have like weird like Vader helmets on, like half Vader helmets, and they're walking through the door, and the door looks super bad, and the guns are like pew 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 and like really bad, and like
you're like, this is kind of lame.
I was like, dude, I just saw episode 1 and 2. Like, have you seen the lightsaber fights? Have you seen Darth Maul?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then like I was like, this is super old and boring. I really didn't like it, but I had to like trick my mind into enjoying it when I grew up a little bit, just knowing because it was Star Wars. But then I got this perspective like, okay, this is Star Wars now. I need to I need to knock it off. I need to shake this off and just kind of like see it for the time and like put myself in 1977 when A New Hope came out and like what people were thinking.
Yeah, and think about like all the other movies that were coming out at that time.
Yeah, garbage compared to this.
Complete boring. Yeah. And then like people that have like, you know what I mean? Nerds that want sci-fi, that want space, that want, spaceships and blasters and lasers. This comes out, Star Wars in their face. They're just like, oh my God. You know what I mean? Imagine what people thought our age. And I think, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and it must be just insanely ridiculous to be like watching what else came out in the 70s. Halloween.
Yeah.
I know Halloween came out in the 70s. So you're like, wow, a guy in a white mask with a knife. Wow, scary. And then you have Star Wars where it's just like lightsabers and like pew 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 pew, and you're like, whoa,
Yeah,
this
dude.
is nuts, And I mean, I can't even imagine like what it must have been like. And I was thinking this today. I was thinking, what do I want to say tonight on our podcast? And this is one thing I wanted to stress. We're in 2016, the very end of it. We are so spoiled as movie viewers now. And it makes me sad in a way because we don't get
the value of something
so epic anymore.
Yeah.
When they were in the 70s, they had nothing.
Yeah.
Like they had regular films,
Yep.
And then maybe they had RoboCop. I think that was the 80s actually. But I mean, they had like nothing really. And then all of a sudden this galactic movie comes out and it's so beyond its time. And people I remember there was that episode of the 70s show where Eric Foreman is like, you guys got to see Star Wars. And he's like going nuts over it. He's like, you guys don't get it. There's lightsabers, this. And he's like, shut up, dumbass, and because.
And he's just a nerd. And
he's such a geek and he's geeking out. And he's got the Millennium Falcon toy and he's digging it, and that's what people felt like back then. And now it's just like, oh, that's cool. You see the Millennium Falcon flying throughout a canyon, but no big deal.
And imagine what it was like in the 70s when episode 4 came out and you loved it and you just loved it because of your instincts, because of what you really like as a person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're talking to people that just are not interested.
Oh.
And they don't understand how epic it is because it just came out. And you're like, no, like seriously, Star Wars is the most amazing shit I've ever heard of. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable. And they're just like, okay, you're a dork. You know what I mean? But now at least everyone knows, you can't talk shit about Star Wars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't say Star Wars is stupid. It's almost socially acceptable to be a Star Wars nerd nowadays. Which
kind of pisses me off, though.
I'm completely
we've
comfortable.
earned our nerdism, and now people, dude. Okay, so not a lot of people know what I look like, because they listen to the show. But
on Instagram, you've posted some pictures.
That's true. But basically, my whole body's tattooed. I've got holes in my ears from the gauges I had,
and not one lightsaber tattoo. What the hell, dude?
No, I don't. But I have 5 lightsaber toys in my house that my son plays with. You can see that video on Instagram. It's hilarious.
You play with them too.
Oh, yeah, I'm the reason we bought them. That's why we have 4, because I make money now. No, but I remember, in high school, when I was in high school, it's I used to have my eyebrow, 2 lip piercings and stuff like that. I had all these piercings and stuff and tattoos. And it was when you had tattoos and piercings when I was in high school, it was oh my gosh, something's wrong with that kid. You don't mess with that kid. That kid's all sorts of crazy.
Yeah.
And now it's people get their noses pierced and their lips pierced for fashion.
Yeah.
And it kind of pisses me off because I'm like, dude, at that point, tattoos and piercings were because you were hardcore. Because you listened to death metal music and you didn't respect authority. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now it's ooh, look at my cute tattoo and my lip piercing. It pisses me off. It's dude, I had to I was this person to earn this kind of stuff. And
so it's similar to the Star Wars kind of
exactly.
thing.
It's kind of now it's it's more of a trend to be a nerd than it is to actually be a nerd in hiding and only have your community of nerds.
Yep.
And
totally.
it frustrates me.
Yeah. I totally understand what you're saying. I'm not afraid to tell anyone that I'm a huge Star Wars. As a matter of fact, I kind of like the identity of being a Star Wars nerd, and I'm a major Star Wars nerd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm so into it. Yeah.
Don't you play a game?
Yeah, Star Wars: The Old Republic. I don't play it right now, but I've played it.
You did for a long time.
Yeah, it came out in 2011. I've played it for a lot since it came out, off and on. I don't play it at the moment, but yeah, just a fact about that game. If you're into online games with people like World of Warcraft, play Star Wars: The Old Republic immediately. That game's amazing.
It looks good.
Yeah, but honestly, I'm so into it, dude. All of it. I love all of it.
I'd like to talk a little bit about episode 3 and episode 4.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. Because Rogue One, it comes out between the two, isn't that right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I want to emphasize on number 3 a bit.
All right.
So in number 1, we have Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Qui-Gon Jinn is like the master, Obi-Wan's the apprentice. Then they hear about Anakin, who's a little boy right now, and he's like a poor boy, but he can bring balance to the Force.
Right.
So then there's this thing with Darth Maul and Qui-Gon Jinn where they get in a fight, and Darth Maul kills Qui-Gon Jinn, but then Obi-Wan Kenobi kills Darth Maul and takes young Anakin under his wing to teach him to be a Jedi Master.
Yes.
That's what number 1's about. Number 2 is 10 years later, and Anakin is grown up. He's probably like 18 or 19 or something like that, because he was probably 8 or 9 in the movie.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say? So he's probably 18 or 19.
Yeah, it's about like 10 years after, I'd say.
And then he gets involved with Padme, who we find out is Queen Amidala. And
Played by Natalie Portman.
yeah. By the way, did you know Hayden Christensen? Did you ever watch that show Goosebumps?
The show Goosebumps?
The show.
No.
Okay, well, there's an episode. Do you remember the book at all about Night of the Living Dummy with
Yes.
Slappy?
Yes.
Okay, they made an episode about it, and it's my favorite Goosebumps episode. And there's some like a geeky kid who's in that episode, and it's Hayden Christensen as a kid.
Interesting.
Yeah, and he's a tool in that, and he's a bad actor in Star Wars, so I don't think he ever had any hope. A New Hope.
Maybe A New Hope, yeah.
Nice. But yeah, so him and Padme end up becoming like an item, which was completely annoying in number 2, but it had to be there, I guess, to make sense for number 3.
Yeah.
And in number 3, I mean, Anakin in number 3, he's like a straight up, like, he is the master now.
Yeah.
You know, and Obi-Wan is also like a master. So they're like almost equals.
Obi-Wan even like tells him at the beginning of the movie, like, you are a greater Jedi than I could ever hope to be. He just keeps it real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He knows.
And then and Anakin is pretty humble, like master.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
this and that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like it's all good in the beginning. And then Count Dooku is still alive in the beginning of number 3, and he's got who we find out is the Emperor. He was Chancellor.
Chancellor
The
Palpatine.
Chancellor Palpatine. He has Chancellor Palpatine as kind of like a prisoner of war in a way. And so that's the mission of Obi-Wan and Anakin. They need to go save him. So they get into Count Dooku's lair or whatever and have a little mini lightsaber fight in the beginning, which was still pretty awesome in its entirety.
I didn't even think about that. I totally loved that, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what better way to start episode 3? Like, you're looking forward to that movie.
With
and
the
then
lightsaber fight.
they started off with a pretty epic beginning lightsaber fight.
Yeah, Count Dooku comes and he's like, "Oh, you're here," and then does like a front flip from the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
Ground. And then he totally wrecks Obi-Wan.
Yeah, dude.
He like just Jedi forces him to the ground and throws like some heavy stuff on him.
Yeah.
And then like him and Anakin are fighting, and Anakin comes down on him pretty hard, and
he kicks his ass.
he takes Count Dooku's lightsaber and his lightsaber and does like the X around his head, remember?
Yep.
And I'm going to try and impersonate this.
The scissor cut.
The scissor cut, right? Palpatine is like, "You need to kill him, Anakin. You need to do this and do that." And he's like, "It's not the Jedi way."
Yeah.
And then he's like contemplating slicing his head off, right? And right before he does it, Palpatine goes, "Do it." Do it. Do it. And then scissor cuts his head off, which I thought was epic. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, this is PG-13?
Yeah.
This is pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
And I also appreciate how when they cut limbs off or heads off or something, it's not like gory.
Yeah.
It's just like a nice clean burn.
I think it's because the
dig that.
lightsabers, like, immediately, like, within contact, just, like, solderize?
Yeah, it like solderizes it.
Yeah, it just burns it to where there's no blood or anything.
Exactly. I thought that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It doesn't really look that painful to get hurt by a lightsaber. Like people get limbs and stuff cut off and they're just like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that sucks." They're not like, "Oh my god," you know.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that's kind of what goes on in number 3.
Kill him.
We find out that Padme and Anakin, you know, they're together in secrecy and they're pregnant, but Padme falls ill, and later on throughout the movie, it comes to find out that like some stuff has been going on behind the scenes, and Mace Windu and his little clan of Jedi, they come over to Emperor Palpatine's little palace where he's at, and they're like, "You're under the arrest because you're basically like, you are a Sith Lord." And you're like, "What? You know, Palpatine's bad?" You know, and do you remember that whole scene?
Yes.
That whole scene was dope, dude. Mace Windu, Samuel L. Jackson comes up.
When they're walking down the hallway, dude, and he's got like his fucking like crew of guys, like Jedi next to him,
and all their lightsabers come out,
and you're just like, it's about to go down. It's about to go down, and he's like, what is that? What does Palpatine say? Oh, let me say this part. Let me do this. It's one of my favorite scenes of the movie when Palpatine is like, I am the Senate, and he's like, not yet.
Oh yeah.
He's like, what does he say? Chancellor, you are under arrest. I don't remember exactly what he says. Listeners, please let us know if you know the exact line. And then he oh my God, he does his epic signature Emperor crazy move where he just like does that swirl.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Reminds me of an alligator.
So tight, dude. So tight. Oh my God, whoever thought of this? Why do people talk trash about episode 3 at all?
I don't think they do, to be honest.
Episode 3 is my favorite one.
People talk bad about the prequels, but everybody has good things to say about 3.
Yeah, dude.
They're like, 1 and 2 are garbage, but 3 was actually decent.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you decent? Okay. But yeah.
3 is hella tight.
3 is awesome, man. And that swirl.
Yeah.
But then, so they're doing the swirl or whatever, and they're fighting, and Palpatine cuts off Mace Windu's hand. And he's like, ah! Mm-hmm. And like bursts out like the back window, so like his arm and his like lightsaber fly out the window and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And or I think I just skipped a part where the Emperor's doing his lightning.
Yeah.
On Mace Windu's
but
the lightsaber.
The lightsaber absorbs it.
And
yeah.
but it shoots it back to the Emperor, remember?
Yeah, he like reflects it back to him.
Yeah, he like reflects it back to the Emperor, and the Emperor's getting like electrocuted with like the Force lightning or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like morphing him.
Yep. It's
and
turning him into the Emperor.
Turning him into the Emperor, right. Does Anakin kill Mace Windu?
And he's like, Anakin comes in and he's like, stop, we can't do this kind of thing. And then Mace Windu is like, he's about to kill him, and he's like, no, and he's like, he's too dangerous to be kept alive.
Oh, yes.
Remember? And then he's like, he's about to do it, and then Anakin is like, no! And the reason why Anakin does all this is because he's convinced that Palpatine is the only person that can save Padme.
Because Padme's fallen ill because she's pregnant with his kids, yeah.
And he, of course, thinks that that's the most important thing in his life, so he's like, I'm going to do anything I can to save her.
Yeah.
So he cuts off Mace Windu's hand.
Oh yeah, that's what happened.
And then Mace Windu's just like, ah, and he's like, he's dealing with that, and
yeah.
then Palpatine immediately just blows him out the window. And dude, I don't think he's dead.
Mace Windu?
I don't think Mace Windu's dead.
You think he's gonna come back?
Yes.
Oh. Well,
would that not be the most epic thing
yeah,
ever?
but how old would he be now?
Dude, he could be Supreme Leader Snoke, in my opinion.
No, I don't think so.
Why the hell not?
Okay, well, because Ben Kenobi, so Obi-Wan is probably, 40?
Mm-hmm.
You'd think in episode 3?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you see him in episode 4, and he's, easily, late 60s.
Yeah.
Really late 60s, maybe 70 or more. Who knows? So Mace Windu looks like he was older than Obi-Wan in number 3, about 5 years or so. So he's probably around 70 or so too. And then, so now you have to go through 4, 5, and 6. Now into 7, which has been many years because Luke is super aged. So he's probably dead by now. Unless Jedis can live really long. I mean, Yoda can.
Yeah,
but
dude.
he's not really, human.
And if you think about it, how old do you think Mace Windu was when the Emperor blasted him out the window? Maybe 40, 45?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is episode 7 is supposed to be 30 years after episode 6.
It?
Yeah.
Okay. Well then.
And oh man, he would have to be extremely old, wouldn't he?
And then why would he be evil now? He was a part of the police of the Jedi.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
That's a good theory.
It would be tight.
And we're gonna find out in episode 8, but we gotta wait a year.
I don't think we are. I don't think we are gonna find out in episode 8. I think we're gonna find out.
You're not gonna ever find out who Snoke is?
In episode 9, I think.
That's true. That could happen.
Yeah.
But I really want to talk about this scene right after Palpatine kills Mace Windu and lightning blasts him out of the window.
Real quick though, before you start, I don't think Mace Windu's dead. Even if he's not Supreme Leader Snoke, I don't think we've seen the last of Mace Windu, dude. There's no way that his death was. I don't think that there's any way possible that they're gonna leave us the last scene of Mace Windu is him being flown out the window like a bitch. He's supposed to be the most powerful Jedi. That, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, other than Luke and Yoda, he was supposed to be the G. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude.
I didn't know that deep. So
Yeah.
okay, interesting.
I don't think he's dead, bro.
Well, anyways, after he gets shot out the window, Palpatine kind of gets up and he throws his hood over his face. No. I'm so backed up here. I haven't seen this movie in so long. I own it on Blu-ray, just never seen it in a long time. There's that scene where Mace Windu is about to kill the Emperor or take him in, to custody or something.
Right.
And this is after the lightning and before Anakin cuts off his arm, right? And Mace Windu is has the lightsaber over him, and the Emperor is that famous thing, "Don't kill me, please." I still to this day don't get what the F was going on with that. Who directed him to be? I mean, George Lucas.
To be hella don't kill me. He was acting, dude.
Yeah, but bad. I thought.
What do you?
Kill me, please.
Oh, you mean the actual actor and the line just sounds so corny? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I thought there was more to it too, instead of just the "don't kill me, please."
And he's like, "Don't!" And he's just hella yeah, panicking and shit. I didn't think it was bad. It sounds a little funny, but I thought it was pretty good acting, honestly.
I always thought it was really weird and dumb and stupid, but I also want to move on a bit. That lightsaber battle was super freaking cool with Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Oh yeah, at the end of the movie.
Yeah, with the lava all splashing around him. That was cool. Going back on it now, rewatching it somewhat recently, it's not as cool as I remember it being. It's kind of dragged on a bit.
Yeah.
And it didn't need to be that epic. A little bit less is more, in my opinion. You know what I mean? In that sense.
Totally.
But I do love the whole when Anakin's I have the upper ground, Anakin. This is over. And Anakin,
I have the high ground.
I will just defeat you, or something like that, right? And that was pretty bad acting.
He's like, don't try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, if you are not with me, then you are my enemy.
Yeah. Dude, I honestly I disagree. I don't think it was
completely not rag on that.
Honestly, dude, I'm being completely upfront with you. I don't think it was that bad. I thought Hayden Christensen definitely did the best in episode 3.
At the end for sure.
Yeah, and he was believable. I didn't think.
What about Padme, where she was like, "Anakin, you're breaking my heart"?
Okay, you're not going to talk shit about Natalie Portman's performance. She's a good actress.
No, it's not her performance. It's the lines that were written for the actors, Lucas.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Okay, I'll give you this. Her lines at that scene were a little bit
corny.
Yeah, you're breaking my heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's you're going down a path I can't follow. It's you could have chose something else that didn't sound so lit.
Yes. I dude. I gotta bring this up because this is nostalgic for you and me, man. You remember this part because I remember clearly you and I both looked at each other in the theaters and smiled and just went oh. And it's this scene right here where she's like, "You're going down a path," or blah, blah, blah. And Anakin looks at Obi-Wan and goes, "You turned her against me."
Yeah.
And we both looked at each other and was like, "Oh, it's about to go down, dude."
Yeah.
And then he's like, he's like, "You did this yourself." And he's like, "If you're not with me, then you're my enemy."
And he's like, "Only a Sith deals in absolute." And I don't want to sound like a complete ignorant idiot, but what does that mean? Only a Sith deals in absolute. That's what he says, right?
I don't remember.
That's what he says. I'm 99% sure. What the hell does that mean?
It probably just means Siths don't see another way out. They
only a Sith deals in absolute. It sounds tight. I never was mad at it, but never really understood it, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's lots of things I didn't understand half the time throughout that movie,
Yeah.
but I dug it. It was cool.
Yeah, and
but then they get in the fight. Anakin.
Oh, let's not skip this. Come on, let's not rush through this. When he's like, only a Sith deals in absolute, and he's like, "Don't make me destroy you, or don't make me kill you," and he's like, "Only a Sith deals in absolute. I will do what I must." And then Anakin is like, "You will try," and then he does this badass backflip, freaking towards him, and they start fighting, and you're just like, oh my god, just so freaking awesome. This another crowd pleaser moment right here.
It was, yeah. And I love it when Obi-Wan disrobes.
Yeah.
because it's like, oh no.
Yeah, right after he says only a Sith deals in absolute.
Yeah.
He takes his robe off and he turns his lightsaber on. He's like, I will do what I must. And you're just like, no way, dude. Like, you guys are brothers. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
What is going on? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Are you serious right now? And it's just like, you don't want it to happen, but at the same time, you knew it was going to happen. You knew it was going to happen from the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Because the poster of the movie is them fighting, remember?
Yes.
And it's like an epic freaking looking picture of them, and you're just like, oh my God, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't remember the trailer at all, but I'm pretty damn sure they showed a piece of that in the trailer.
Yeah, that fight was just legendary. And then you have Obi-Wan, where he's on the high ground, as he stated, and then Anakin tries to fight him anyways because he's a little cocky and arrogant, and Obi-Wan kind of has the experience. And when Anakin hops off of his little rock that he's on and like tries to go fight Obi-Wan, that's what it was, like a rock or something.
Yeah.
And he jumps off of it, and Obi-Wan just takes like one slice and slices off one arm, right?
Yeah.
And then 2 legs.
He slices off.
Yeah, it's 1 arm and 2 legs.
Yep.
That's why he's all robotic as Vader. And then
Wait a second. Doesn't he just slice off his legs?
No, it's both, dude.
When he's like,
Yeah,
I've got the
both.
high ground, and he jumps.
Yeah.
It's his arm and 2 legs.
Yep. It's the non-robot arm.
What percentage are you on this? Sure.
100%.
Why? Really?
I remember that because he's trying to pull himself, like drag himself to Obi-Wan with 1 arm because the other ones are cut off. And then the lava kind of rises a bit and like catches his nubs on fire. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then his whole body just starts getting burned
And Obi-Wan has to look away because it's so gruesome.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh my God.
and he's crying, like Obi-Wan's crying, and he's just like, you were like a brother to me, Anakin. It was told that you would destroy the Sith, not join them.
I loved you.
Yeah, and then it's just like, I mean, as a Star Wars geek, all of us, it was kind of.
I didn't think it was funny at all.
It wasn't
in
funny.
any kind of way.
No, it was.
I was just
emotional.
like, oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. I love that. And then people kind of knocked the ending of number 3. I thought it was good.
Dude, they line everything up to lead into number 4.
Yeah.
What's wrong with it?
Vader's all shiny and spick and span, and he gets
Yep.
up, and the Emperor's there to go retrieve him.
Yep.
And Vader gets up, and he like breaks out of his little. He's like, "Where's Padme?"
Yeah.
And there's like, "Your anger
Yeah.
killed her." or something like that.
Little fun fact about that, real quick, if I may.
Yeah.
In the previous movies, the guy that played Darth Vader, I'm not sure. Listeners, please let me know. I don't really know. I apologize. It's not Hayden Christensen, obviously. And in Episode 3, it's Hayden Christensen in that suit. And because Hayden Christensen is like 6 foot or somewhere close to that,
Yeah.
he was the right height to wear the suit. Because in the original trilogy, Darth Vader was tall. He was like a big, tall,
Yeah.
freaking badass. And they were like, "Well, you're tall enough. You want to be in the suit?" And he was like, "Hell yeah, let's
Why
put me
wouldn't
in
I?
the suit." Yeah,
Yeah.
And it is Hayden Christensen in that suit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
And when he's like, "No," and all the things crush and shit, that's Hayden Christensen in that suit.
That's sick.
Yeah, dude. Why does everybody talk so much shit about Hayden Christensen? He's not the greatest actor in the
Because
world.
watch Attack of the Clones, dude.
It's not that
Or the
bad,
Clone
bro.
Wars, I
It's
mean.
really not that bad, dude.
Yeah. Dude.
If you're
It
a
is.
huge Star Wars fan, it's really not that bad.
It's the whole thing with him and Padme is what ruined the entire thing.
Yeah.
It's where they're sitting there in the field of amazing beauty, and he's like, sand gets into places. It's
Yeah,
like
I know.
stupid. It's dumb. It's like not
Well, yeah,
necessary.
but that's not him. That's the writing, you know.
Well, yeah, but you gotta.
I hate sand. Gets everywhere. It's just like, who wrote this shit?
George Lucas did, and he's an idiot. I mean, he's a genius, but he's like an idiot. He's like this dumbest smart person. You know, one of those things.
Well, one of our close friends that we both know. Once I was talking to him about this stuff, and he told me that George Lucas is not a writer. He is a director, in my opinion. He knows how to direct a movie because
Yeah,
he's directed
most
many movies.
Most deaf.
But he's not an excellent writer. He's an idea man. And the listener that's listening to this right now, he'll know exactly that I'm talking about him. He listens to all of our episodes. And he's right. George Lucas was the idea man, but he should have left the script, the screenplay, to someone else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
agree. And then I want to get into number 7. Number 7 was the 2015 flick, The Force Awakens.
Oh,
I don't
yes.
really want to get really deep into that because this has nothing to do with Rogue One. I do want to say that I enjoyed that movie very much.
Me too.
I thought it was, and this is how I want to explain this. The reason I didn't like 4, 5, and 6 that much, even though, I mean, I did like them, but the reason why I didn't like it as much as other people probably did was because I see the potential that Star Wars had if it had the 2015 budget and the 2015 effects, what it could have been. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate because Star Wars is so epic.
Yep.
But it's just like it doesn't look good.
Star Wars is the most epic story that has been created by man, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. But what I loved about The Force Awakens is that you got to see the stormtroopers in the way they were meant to be. You got to see their guns in the way they were meant to shoot. You got to see lightsabers in the way they were meant to sway. You got to see everything the way it was meant to be. The Millennium Falcon really doing what it's meant to do. Go to hyperspeed, you know, and like fly and like go in and out of crevices, no problem, and like be chased by all of these. And it was so good, dude, because that's what it was meant to be. I remember the opening scene of The Force Awakens where it's got the stormtroopers and they're on like that giant, like, you know, they're trying to get Poe Dameron.
Yeah.
And they're on that giant like space elevator thing that's flying them.
Yep.
And you only see them because there's like lights that shine by, and you can kind of just get a glimpse of the stormtroopers standing there with their guns.
Yes.
Remember?
Yep.
And then they come out and they're like boom, 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 and they're shooting and they're getting blown up and they're flying everywhere and stuff. And it's like, dude, this is what Star Wars was meant to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like the fact that like you go back and watch 4 through 6, and it's just so old and dated, and it's like, ugh, man, like I love it for what it is. But I'm so happy we had The Force Awakens, and I don't care if people think it was just a reimagining of number 4. I've heard that.
Yeah.
It's not, to be honest.
It's not. No way.
It's not. But yeah, I don't think that it was a reimagining at all of number 4. But I do agree though that J.J. Abrams gave an homage to number 4 by showing some of the same shots and by following some of the same storyline. I totally think.
Yeah, and how can you not respect that?
Yeah, it bothers me. You know, that's for like the super nerds that are just like, we wanted something completely different. But in my opinion, you did get something completely different.
Dude.
You got Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
He's different, you know? Yeah.
Think about the end to number 4. Is the end to number 4 not a space battle in which Darth Vader starts spinning out of control?
Right.
And then they're like, oh, we won. Okay, so the lightsaber battle at the end of number 7 in the middle of the forest in the snow, is that similar to that in any way? No.
I don't recall in number 4 that a stormtrooper rethought his ways and helped somebody get out.
That didn't happen at all.
I know.
So it's not similar to number 4 at all.
And the whole reason that we met Rey was because Finn and Poe crash landed where she lived.
Yeah.
And there was an important message that R2-D2 had to get somewhere. Or BB-8 had to get, to R2-D2.
It was different.
It's ridiculous.
Anybody, and you know that I'm talking to you right now, specific listener,
whoever is listening, and
anybody that thinks that episode 7 is number 4, you are just a negative person looking for things wrong with everything, and you know that I'm talking to you.
And if your name is Nancy, then you are a negative Nancy.
Honestly, I don't mean to disrespect you. Your name starts with a B. You know exactly who I'm talking to. But you're wrong, man. It does not. It is not the same movie. It's not the same story. There's extreme differences. Yes, there's similarities, but that's on purpose for nostalgia. You know what I mean?
And it definitely was nostalgic.
I loved it.
When you see the First Order's ship go across the scene, just the way Darth Vader's ship was back in number 4, dude, I didn't think like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. No, I was like, wow. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
It looks better and it's awesome, you know?
Yeah. I mean, if I'm thinking of things that I wish that would have happened in the movie, I can think of things. I have an imagination.
I wish Harrison Ford didn't die.
Yeah. But spoiler alert.
I've already said that our podcast is full of spoilers.
Okay.
Listen to The Shallows.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, whatever. Let's just get off the fact that people say that. It's just stupid.
Yeah, totally.
I love number 7 though. I thought it was dope. I thought like Kylo Ren, like I thought he was like, the first time I saw it, I was like, this guy is like a bitch, dude.
Yeah.
Like I really didn't like him. I was like, he's so whiny. Like that's not who I want to be afraid of.
I love his character.
Now I do. Yes.
I'm afraid of him, dude. Like,
because he's so unstable.
I want to talk about my favorite character, and that is Finn, played by John Boyega.
More than Ray.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, like when I saw the poster, when I saw the trailer, I was just like, this guy, because it shows him holding a lightsaber, and I know that he's in the trailer. It shows him take off his stormtrooper helmet. You know what I mean? And that scene in the trailer, it shows him take off his stormtrooper helmet. Yeah, and he's like all out of breath. And then later on, it shows him with a lightsaber, and you're like, oh man, he makes a turnaround. Like something happens with him.
Yeah.
Like he could be the next Luke. You know what I mean? And I was just like, I can't wait to see this guy. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. But I just loved his character. And in the movie, honestly, I felt a little let down. I didn't want to see him get his ass kicked at the end like I did. Like, especially at the end when Kylo Ren fights Rey and wins at the very, very beginning. And then Finn shows up and he's like, and Kylo Ren is like, that lightsaber, it belongs to me. And he's like, come get it. I was just like, hell yeah, dude. This is going to be so tight. And I was hoping that Finn would just somehow kick his ass or something, or hold his own, but not get his ass kicked so bad. But at the same time, I understand, and it's realistic.
All he is a stormtrooper. He knows how to shoot a blaster.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But you know what was good though, which was better in my opinion. And while you were explaining that scene, I was imagining a different part of that scene where I was getting shivers thinking about it. And what I am getting shivers about is when Finn is sitting there and he's fighting Kylo Ren with the lightsaber. Kylo Ren just freaking wrecks him. Right? Yeah. And it's like, dude, that
slices
sucks.
his back and shit.
Yeah, it's bad. And you know how Kylo Ren has that like triple lightsaber looking thing?
Yeah.
And when it starts going into his shoulder, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was painful. I felt it. But what was so cool was that like Finn lost. He straight up lost, right?
Yeah.
But then you see the lightsaber start to wiggle, and you're like, what?
Uh-huh.
And you're like, how did Finn learn that? And then it's just like, it's wiggling and wiggling. And you're like, I've seen this before. And then all of a sudden, phew, you think Kylo Ren is the one with his hand out to go get it. And it flies right by Kylo Ren into Rey's hand.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh, dude, I love her.
Yeah, honestly, I want to say that I agree. I like Rey too, and like I'm looking at a picture at her right now, and she's
so cool, dude.
She is the star of the movie, and they make it clear in the poster of the movie. She's epic, dude. She's gonna be the biggest badass of all Star Wars, and I respect that, and I cannot wait to see her kick Kylo Ren and Supreme Leader Snoke's ass.
I'm kind of pissed though that we have to wait till episode 9 to see her.
But at the same time, I want to say I was not mad when I saw the lightsaber go into her hand. I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be tight.
And then she beats him down, just like Luke did to Vader.
I am the biggest dude. To me, Luke is the Star Wars G. Like nobody will ever be tighter than Luke to me. And when the lightsaber started shaking, I was like, dude, Luke.
Oh, you thought it was Luke?
I was like, Luke.
So did I.
I was like, Luke is there. Luke is there. Please let Luke be there. And he wasn't. And I was like, ugh. Like the whole movie, I was like, they're talking about Luke. Yeah, they're like, Luke Skywalker's real? Like Luke Skywalker. And I was just like, dude, he is my favorite. He's the strongest Jedi that will ever live. You know what I mean? I was so happy that they showed him at the very end. If they hadn't done that, I wouldn't have liked the movie, honestly. I would have been like, the fuck? You didn't show Luke? Like, what the hell? But I was hoping for that crowd pleaser moment where the lightsaber shakes and it flies out of the snow and it lands in Luke's hand and he's somehow, for some reason, right there. And you're just like, oh my God. I would have flipped my shit if it was Luke.
And he's just like, Kylo, enough.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and he like kicks his ass.
Just something, yeah.
Yeah, something so epic. Like
I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed with the lack of Luke.
Yeah, dude.
I was like waiting this whole time to see Luke, and the very end when he just turns around and Rey's like just holds out the lightsaber, because she knows, like, dude, you're Luke.
Yeah.
You're Luke. You're the Jedi Master. I'm
telling you right now, I respect that they killed off Obi-Wan. I love Obi-Wan's character, dude. I'm not mad that they killed off his character in episode 4. They kill off characters. They killed off Han Solo, for Christ's sakes, in episode 7.
Right.
I didn't see that coming. I was like, oh my God. But at the same time, I respected it. If they kill off Luke in episode 8 or 9, I'm going to be pissed.
I don't think they will. I don't think so.
I want Luke to make it throughout the whole saga. If he dies, if he gets cut down by somebody, I'm going to be pissed. They built him up to be
the best.
Luke Skywalker, dude. Nobody's going to kill Luke Skywalker.
That's one of the most famous names in
yeah,
history
dude.
Since 1977.
If they kill off his character in any of the sequels coming up, I will not respect it. I don't care how cool, how epic it will be. I will be pissed off. They better not kill off Luke.
I hope not. I think we're there, man. I think we covered.
Yeah, I think we've kind of covered
top highlights of 1 through 7, and that was so much fun, dude. And I'd like to.
I'm not even just done, man.
Give me like a 30-second, just like a 30-second summary of what you think Rogue One is going to be about, because I'm completely clueless.
Okay, but I want to hear yours after.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so Rogue One. I'm super excited to see this. I'm gonna see this in like less than a week. I can't even say how excited I am, honestly. But at the same time, I don't know what to expect, because I know that this is called Rogue One, a Star Wars story. This is not Star Wars number anything. This is like a separate side
3.5.
story. Yeah, and 3.5. Good. Yeah, I like that. And it's obvious that it's focusing on like kind of like the rebel characters that don't carry lightsabers. There's not too much Jedi action, and I'm looking forward to it, but I'm nervous. And I know, because they spoiled it in the damn trailers, that Darth Vader is going to be in the movie. I really wish they would have kept that as a huge secret surprise. That would have been awesome. I'm excited to see it, but so nervous. I hope so much that this movie is badass and really good writing, and I think it will be.
I think
so. But
so.
at the same time, oh God, I'm so nervous. You know what I mean? So what do you think?
Okay, I don't know who the girl is who's the main character, but I, for some reason, really already like her.
Felicity something.
I really already like her. I think she's awesome. I don't agree with Forrest Whitaker being in it, because when I see Forrest Whitaker, I see Forrest Whitaker. I don't see his character so much. So yeah. I don't know. There's like an Asian bald guy with a staff.
Dude, are you kidding me? Donnie Yen, man. The Ip Man.
Is that his Star Wars name or real name?
His name is Donnie Yen, his real name.
Okay, well, Star Wars Asian guy with the stick beats up some stormtroopers and looks pretty dope. Darth Vader has some cool looking scenes in it. The AT-ATs look so dope.
Yeah.
Main chick, she goes up against one of those like Darth Vader flying guys,
Yeah.
Where it's like a circle with the two sides.
The TIE Fighter?
TIE Fighters.
Yeah.
Told you I'm not the hugest Star Wars nerd. But those things, the First Order ships. And she's like going up face first to one of them. And I think that's going to be the end of the movie. I'm not sure. It looks dope. I cannot wait to see it. Like, the more closer we're getting to it coming out, the more I'm just like getting excited, and I cannot effing wait, dude.
Yeah.
To see it. I'm so excited to see it, and I can't wait, dude.
What I cannot wait to see is this. Mark my words. At the end of Rogue One, Darth Vader is going to be the one at the end of the movie walking into the screen with his lightsaber. And is somebody going to fight him? Or is he just going to dominate that scene and just be the Jedi in that scene, or the Sith in that scene? Or is there going to be a cameo, super exclusive, badass Jedi lightsaber
Obi-Wan
scene? Do you think?
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think that at all is
Obi-Wan will not be in the movie.
It's going to, well, first of all, who would play it? And it's going to take too much.
But let's think for a second. Episode 3, who could be the person that fights Vader at the end of episode Rogue One?
Could be your Mace Windu, but then why wouldn't you hear about him in 4 through 6?
Dude, it's not going to be Mace Windu.
I don't know.
I have no idea. I cannot wait to see it.
I can't wait to see it either, man.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we need to buy our tickets like soon, like tomorrow.
Okay. Oh,
And
yeah.
I
Are we
can-
gonna see it IMAX or are we gonna see it?
Uh,
I'd rather just see it regular theater.
you think so?
I mean, IMAX obviously is the best, but like
I'm thinking
that's a lot of money, dude.
Yeah,
And Christmas time rolling up,
but I'm thinking the same time like
it's worth it.
it's worth it. It's Star Wars, bro. Let's spoil ourselves.
All
Let's
right.
do IMAX.
I'm down.
All right.
Okay, we'll figure that out.
Okay.
Overall, okay, I'm gonna do 3 ratings.
Okay.
4, 5, and 6. What would you rate that trilogy?
4, 5, and 6 trilogy. What would I rate that? I would rate that
And
out
a
of
collective.
5. Out of 5, I do a 4.5.
1 through 3.
1 through 3, 4.5.
Ugh.
Yeah.
7.
No, I take that back
Yeah,
for 1
please
through
take
3.
that back.
Because of episode 1, unfortunately.
And
Episode
the
1 sucks.
Stupid stuff of number 2.
There's only a couple things in number 2 I didn't like. I liked number 2. I liked number
Okay,
3 a lot.
okay.
So I'm going to drop it down to a 4.
Okay.
Episode 7,
Yes.
4. You're not going to
Okay,
hear
okay.
you're not going to hear a 5 out of 5 from me until we talk about my favorite movies.
Okay, no, I'm
know?
down with that, dude. All right, my rating.
Yeah.
Okay, 4 through 6.
Yeah, 4 through 6, sorry.
4 through 6, 4.
4.
Okay. 1 through 3,
Okay.
3.5.
Ooh.
I gotta say
I
3.5.
I can buy it. I can understand it.
Because it's a lot of the writing sucks, dude.
Yeah.
But some of it's, I don't know. I don't even like the whole like.
What about that fight scene at the end of episode 2 when all the Jedi jump down in that huge pit?
Yeah, but it looks bad now. Doesn't look as good now.
It doesn't look bad. Come
no,
on.
I don't know. It was kind of unrealistic too. Like now,
Watch it on Blu-ray, dude. It's tight.
I have it all. I have all 6 movies on Blu-ray. Yeah, 3.5 though. Just certain things.
All right.
Episode 7, 4.
Okay.
4 like you probably.
Yeah.
Because I still thought it was pretty original with a nice homage and then very good graphics and very good CGI and awesome acting. Minus Finn sometimes with his little like everything he does is like hyperventilating. So that's a little old, but you know, other than that, I think Rey is insane. I think she's amazing. I can't wait to see her like take her skills. I think Luke is going to train her.
Oh, guaranteed.
I know people say like Rey is supposed to possibly be Luke's daughter. I don't buy that.
I think it would be cool if she was.
Yeah, but then she'd never heard of him, and then what's he gonna be like? Baby, that's you. Like,
So what?
no, I don't know.
Rey is Luke's daughter? Hell yeah, I'm down for that.
I'd rather see her just get trained by Luke than like.
Somebody is her parents. Like
That's true.
somebody significant.
That's true. I dig that. So that's my ratings for that. So that was it, everybody. Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much more. We didn't even
Oh, yeah.
really talk about how cool Darth Maul looked with his double lightsaber.
Oh, yeah.
We also have General Grievous, who had the Force spinning lightsabers.
Oh man, we didn't even talk about General Grievous at all.
I know. We got Jar Jar Binks and Misa. Don't like him too much.
But next week we're doing Rogue One, right?
Yeah.
So let's do Rogue One, and then we'll backtrack a little bit on
Okay.
on the things we didn't talk about.
I'm down for that
Cool.
for sure.
Let's do some movie news.
Movie news. I'm really excited for mine. So unless you have something awesome, I would like to go first.
I have a couple different things actually.
Pick one.
All right. So do you mind if I go first with my movie news?
Sure.
Okay, first I want to keep it Star Wars. I want to talk about a little bit what I heard about a rumor, a pretty significant rumor that's probably going to turn out to be true about Episode 8. Supposedly, Luke is training Rey on that desolate island that they're on, and supposedly there's an epic scene that got leaked to where they're like sitting in some kind of hut or something, and like Luke gets pissed off or something. Something happens and Luke gets upset, and the entire hut around them disintegrates and explodes because of how powerful he is.
What?
And he just like he gets pissed off and it's just like and it just everything disintegrates around them, and they're just like, oh my god, dude, oh my god, I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see some Luke action, dude. Some oh
me
man.
too.
But the movie news that's separate from this that I want to talk about is Spider-Man: Homecoming.
That trailer looks dope, dude.
For real, starring Tom Holland as the new Spider-Man. I respect it. I like it.
Isn't he the director of Child's Play?
Yes, somehow he was like fucking. He was in the womb when or I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, he's the new Spider-Man. He's a teenager. I respect that. The trailer looks awesome.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. is also going to be in Tennant as Iron Man.
Super cool.
If you have not seen this trailer yet, I suggest you go check it out. It looks badass.
It looks tight and funny.
Yeah. Oh man. Michael Keaton, the original Batman, he's playing the villain in the new Spider-Man movie, the Vulture.
The Vulture, yeah.
Looks awesome.
It does look cool. It looks kind of dark in a way, too.
Yeah,
I
dude.
dig that.
I really think that everybody finally is going to see this Spider-Man and be like, okay, we found our Spider-Man.
This is the spot. And he even has that webbing
Yep.
from his armpits.
Yeah.
You know, on his ribs and stuff.
It looks tight, dude.
So he can glide. But why do you need that if you can fly? But that's
Right.
pretty cool, though. I dig it. I can't wait to see that.
So what is your movie news?
Oh, my gosh. Please, yes, let me tell you.
Dude, tell me.
The new Planet of the Apes movie.
Oh, man, the War of the Planet of the Apes.
Have you seen the trailer?
Oh, yes.
How cool does that look?
Dude, it's going to be an experience in the theater.
I know. I saw. I didn't see the first one in the theater, unfortunately, but I did see the second one.
Yeah.
And that one was really cool, especially with Koba when he's fighting him at the end.
Dude, so like intense, and you're just like,
And emotional.
I hate that ape so much. I just want him to die.
Me too.
Yeah.
But this one looks so good, man.
Dude,
Can't wait.
freaking
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson, dude, is going to be the star, and he plays a badass
He's, like, shaving his
military
head.
guy. Yeah, he looks tight, dude.
They're literally going to war with the apes. That's what the whole thing is, War of the Planet of the Apes. And Caesar just looks so good. And this is what I want to say about CGI in 2016. Did you see that scene in the trailer where the Caesar and then that big giant ape
Or on the
are
horseback.
on the horses? That
Looks-
looks 100% real.
Yeah, dude, I couldn't.
I was like, wow.
100% on the same page. I was just like, I saw that scene in the trailer, and I was just like, holy hell. They have mastered, completely 100% made it look real.
No, dude.
You couldn't put a real monkey on the back of that freaking horse, and it would look the same.
Yeah.
It would look exactly the same.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, I completely
So
agree.
cool.
Completely agree. As a little side movie news that I'm excited about, Transformers the last night. It looks really awesome. I'm not as excited as the other movies that we just talked about, but it does look cool. I have hope because the fourth Transformers movie was kind of disappointing.
Pretty much.
So I'm hoping that this one could bring it back and be awesome. But yeah.
That wraps it up for this episode, guys. The movie we are doing next week going to be Rogue One.
Oh,
A
yes.
Star Wars story. Rogue One. Oh, man.
Can't
I'm so
wait.
excited to see that.
So nervous.
We're going to make this happen. We're going to see it no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
If we have to see it
Sunday night.
Sunday night, whatever, before work the next day, we're going to make it happen. This is going to be it.
Yeah, you can look forward to it. We really hope you tune in for it.
Exactly. Oh, yes. Contact information. I will go first this time.
All right.
My contact information, you can reach me at moviemen@yahoo.com. That's my email. You can follow me on Twitter at moviemen_. Find me on Instagram, also at moviemen_. Mr. B, how about you?
As everybody should know, if you've been tuning in, I have a YouTube channel where I narrate scary stories. It's called Being Scared.
Awesome.
I really hope that you stop by. I put a lot of effort and passion into that. You can email me at beingscared86@gmail.com. Please hit me up. You can look me up on Twitter at beingscared86. You can look me up on Facebook if you just type in Being Scared. You can also look me up on Instagram as of recently, and it's being_scared. Please look me up. I'm looking forward to it.
And if you are listening to us on iTunes, we pretty please ask you, go there, leave a 5-star rating, and leave a comment. We would greatly appreciate it.
Go to iTunes, download our episodes. This is why we do this. We want to reach out to people. We want to share our thoughts and everything with people. Go to iTunes. Please do this.
Anything else you want to share?
No, man. I look so much looking forward to talking about Rogue One.
I can't wait. Have a great week, everybody.